and welcome for yet another problems based on transportations. Today we are going to see a special case of maximization problems. Friends, in transportation problem also many a times a company might be looking for maximum profit that they can achieve from salespeople. Let's see a given problem. There are D1, D2, D3 and D4 are nothing but the salespeople who has a good record of selling a particular product, say S1, S2, S3, and this might be their demand of that particular product, and this could be the sales achievement of that particular salesperson. So here we need to solve it for the profit maximization. So in order to solve any transportation problem, we need to follow certain steps, as we have discussed. First, whether it is expressed in matrix forms. Yes, it is already given in the matrix form. Second, we need to check whether it is balanced or not. So for the check of balancing, let's calculate demand and supply. That should be equal, that is 200 plus 500, that is 1000, and calculating this is again 1000. So it is a balanced problem. Next, we need to check whether it's a minimization or maximization problem. So it is a maximization problem. So what do we do when it is a maximization problem? So before I could actually start, let me write down the steps that you need to understand before solving the maximization problem. For a transportation problem with a condition of maximization, first identify the cost which is maximum. Okay, so which is the maximum cost? It is 25. Now subtract it from rest of the cost. That is, we need to subtract 25 from each of the value that are available in the matrices. We have done the similar kind of exercise when we are doing assignment problems. So it is very similar to that, and you have to produce a new matrices. So we will produce a new matrices, and rest is the same what we have done. So here the highest cost, transportation cost, is 25. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract 25 each of the elements from 25. So like 12 minus 25 will give me 13 here, and then 25 minus 18 is going to give me 7. Similarly, I subtract all the elements, so what I'll get is this new matrices. This is 17, sorry, this is 18 and 15 plus 7, 11, 22, 14 and 5. So this is my new matrices which I have obtained while by subtracting the highest element from rest of the elements that are present in that matrices. So now I'll just put it the same values, that is demand is 200, 500 and 300, and whatever in the D sides, that I'll put 180, 320, 100 and 400. So this is my new matrices that is available. Now I'm going to solve this with now I have to follow these steps. That I have to first find out the initial feasible solution. I have to check for the case of degeneracy. So initial feasible solution I'm going to find out with the help of least cost method for you. LCM I'm going to use. So for LCM, it's very simple. What I'm going to do, I'm going to identify the smallest value, that is nothing but 200. So I'm going to assign 200 first, sorry 0. So I'm going to assign this particular cell $200 on the demand side. So this will become 0, remaining is 200, and this particular first row will not participate any further, which is the smallest element. then it is nothing but 5, so I'm going to assign 5. So I'm going to assign 200, this will be 0, this is outstanding 100, so here it is 0, so this will be eliminated. Rest I'm going to identify smallest element in these, so that is nothing but it's 11, so I'm going to assign 11, the cell which has the cost 11, so here I will assign 100, so remaining is 80, this becomes 0, so this row will be eliminated, and rest is 17, 18 and 15. 15 is the smallest, so I'm going to assign 15 to it. 100 I'm going to assign, this becomes 0, remaining is 400. Next is 17, I'm going to assign 80 to this, this becomes 0, remaining is 320, and see it is 320 which is left, so this is what I'm going to write down. So this is my initial feasible solution matrices with the help of least cost method. To find the initial feasible solution, you can use the northwest corner method or you can use Vogel's approximation. It's all depends on your choices. There is no compulsion as such. So this is my initial feasible solution. So I'll just write down the initial feasible solution in the new box. That is, it's 13, 17, 11, 7, 18, 22. Sometimes students might ask that in order to get the best initial feasible solution or to avoid the further iterations, which is the best method, whether least cost method or Vogel's approximation or northwest corner method. Really friends, if you do the calculations rightly, any of the methods will be okay. There is no such preferences as. So this is my new matrices available. Now once this is done, you know how to solve this. I'm going to solve this with the help of Modi method, that is modification method. In order to solve this maximization problem with Modi method, we need to first perform two operations. One is on occupied cells and one is on unoccupied cells. For the formula for occupied cells is Cij, that is nothing but Ui plus Vj. Please refer my previous video to understand it better. I have explained this in detail in the previous lecture. So now I'll put this as U1, U2 and U3, and this is my V1, V2, V3 and V4. U1 will be 0 by default. I'm going to start my operations from this. So 0 plus something will make me 0, so here I'll put 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. See, I'm following this. Next 0 plus something 0 plus something is equal to 5, so this is 5. Once I got this 5, 11, so here it will be 6, 5, 22. Okay, this is 6, this is 17, so this is nothing but 11. 11 plus something is equal to 18, so this will be 7. 11 plus something is equal to 15, so this is 4. I got U1, V2, V3 and V1, V2, V4. Okay, so initial feasible solution is done. Operations on occupied cells is done, and now I'll perform the operations on unoccupied cells. The formula for that is Pij is nothing Cij minus Ui plus Vj. So I'll just do this operation for unoccupied cells. Here the unoccupied cells are nothing but, I'm going to highlight this with this yellow color marker. So these are the cells which are unoccupied cells. Unoccupied cells where any values is not assigned. So if I have to identify, it will be row 1, column 1, the value is 13. Row 1, column 2, the value is 7. Row 1, column 3, the value is 19. Then I got this. Row 2, column 4, the value is 7. Then I got row 3, column 2, value is 22. Row 3, column 3 value is 14. So this is nothing but Cij values that I got. Now I have to check for the adjacent u and v value for that particular non-assigned cells. Here 13, the u value is 0 plus v value is 6, so 13 minus 6, I'll get an answer is 13 minus 6 is 7 plus 7, so adjacent u value is 0 plus this is nothing but 7, so 7 minus 7 will be 0. For 19 I got 0, the adjacent value is 4, so that is 19 minus 4, I'll get 15. For 7, this value, the adjacent u value is 11 and the v value is 0, so 7 minus 11 I got minus 4. Here this is 22 minus u, adjacent u is 22, sorry, it's 5, and this is plus 7, so this is 22 minus 12, answer will be 10, and this is 330, the 14 minus adjacent value 5 plus 4, that is equal to 9, so the answer will be 5. I'll just show you that steps which I follow. Step 1, unoccupied cells are assigned, then occupied cells are assigned with this formula Cij is equal to ui plus vj. Then unoccupied cells are, that is, we have calculated the opportunity cost with this formula. Then now we have to check whether all these values, see, of this opportunity cost are whether they are greater than or equal to 0, but here it is false because we got a one value, that is this is minus 4, which is definitely less than 0, so we have not reached to the optimal solutions. So what we have to do, we have to select an unoccupied cells with the largest negative value in Pij, and we need to construct a closed loop. We have to adjust allocations and revise, and we have to again go back to step 1. So here we got a cell C24, the C24, this cell, we got this cell which is has the highest negative value, that is minus 4. Now we have to make a closed loop. In order to make a closed loop, we have to identify the nearest occupied cells. So nearest occupied cell is this. From here the nearest occupied cell is this, again nearest is this, and I'll come back to here in order to make a closed loop. The rule number 2 for making a closed loop is I am going to assign a positive, negative, alternatively. Then third, I have to identify the negative cells. I have to check for the assigned negative cell value which is minimum. So here 80 is minimum. So what I have to do, I have to add 80 wherever the plus sign is given, and I have to subtract 80 from wherever the negative sign is given. So I'll just redraw this particular diagram, or the formula rather I should say. So it's 13, 7, 19, 0, 17, 18, 15, and again 7, 11, 22, 14, and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the cells which have occupied values. So here 80 minus 80, so this becomes 0. Here I'm going to add the 80 value, plus here I'm going to subtract 80, so it becomes 120, plus here again it is plus sign, so it becomes 180. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, here 1, 2, 3, 4. This particular 17 wala cell has got assigned, the value 80 is gone assigned here. So this is what change we have observed. Rest of the things will be same, we just need to put the values as it is given. Check for the condition of m plus n minus 1, that is a condition of whether it is degenerate or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it is not degenerate, where m is equal to rows n is equal to number of columns, and minus 1, that is equal to 6, so this is not a condition of degeneracy. Again we need to follow the steps, that is we first have to perform Cij on ui plus vj, that is for occupied cells. So these are the occupied cells. Here I'll put u1 is equal to 0 by default, u2 is equal to u3, then this is my v1, v2, v3 and v4. So here 0, here 0, so 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, then 0 plus something that is equal to 5 is equal to 5, then this 5 plus something is equal to 11, so 6, 5 plus 6 is equal to 11, then 5, this is 6, this is unknown. Okay, fine. So here I got this will be 11, this will be 8, and this will be 7. The steps to solve and identify these values are already discussed in the previous lectures, so I'll just highlight what the important step in maximization problems. So this is what the matrices I got after putting the values with the formula of Cij plus Uij. Second, I have to identify the unoccupied cells, and I have to apply a formula, that is Pij is equal to Cij minus Ui plus Vj bracket mein. So these are the unoccupied cells. See, I'll highlight for you unoccupied cell, this one, this one. Unoccupied cells are those which do not have any assigned values. So it is C11, that is 13, C12, that is 7, C13, that is 19, then it is C21, this one it is 17, this is C32, that is 22, and C33, that is 14. So now I'll just find the adjacent u and v values. Here for 13 it is 0 plus 6, so answer will be 7. It is so 7, it is 0 plus 11, that is equal to minus 4, plus here in 19 we got 0 plus 8, so it will be 11, plus 17 we got 7, sorry, for 17 it is 7 plus 6, so that is nothing but 13, so answer is 4. For 20 we got the 5 plus that is 11, so it is nothing but 6, and for 14 we got 5 plus 8, so that is nothing but 1. So we got this as a negative value. For checking the condition of optimally, this all should be equal to or greater than 0, which is here it is false. So we need to identify the non-occupied cells with the highest negative value. There might be possibility that there are some more than one negative values. So here we got only one negative value, that is C12. So C12 is nothing but this cell, so I have to find or form a closed loop. Again I'll repeat what is to be done to form a closed loop, that we have to go to the nearest occupied cells. The nearest occupied cell is this. From here the nearest occupied cell is this. From here I'll go here, and this is how I make a closed loop. Plus, as the rule says, this will be my positive, this will be my negative, this will be again positive, and this will be negative. Next, rule number 3, I have to identify the least value from the negatively assigned cells, that is 200. I'm going to select 200. So next I have to add 200 to wherever the plus sign is given in these cells and which are existing on this loop, and I have to subtract 200 from the negative signs from the cells which are assigned on this particular loop. So here, rewriting this particular, I'll get I'll just write down this 13, 7, 19, 0. My dear friends, whenever we are solving problems with Modi method, use of different color pen and pencil is must, because as you can see there's a lot of operations we need to perform on the same matrices, so it's always better to have different color options with you. So this is 200 minus, so in this cell it is a plus sign, so I am going to add 200 here. Here minus, so it becomes 0. Here is the plus sign, so I am going to add 200 into it, so it becomes 280. Plus here it is negative sign, so I am going to subtract 200 from them, so this becomes 120. And rest of the cells I am going to write down the assigned value as it is, that is 100 here and 180 here. That's it. And I'm going to check for the condition of degeneracy, that is m plus n minus 1 is existing. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, it is true. So again I have to go for the occupied cells operations, that is Cij is equal to ui plus vj. So here u1 is equal to 0 by default, so it's u2 and u3. It's very simple. I'm going to calculate the values very fastly so that you can, it's very simple what I'm doing. I'm just this with help of this 0 and applying this formula. This is u, this is v, and this is Cij. It's very easy to find out these values. This will be 2 7 4 and minus 4. Here it will be 0 11 and 9. So these are the simple minus 4. If you have any doubt, it's very simple. See, we got 7, here we got 11 plus something is equal to 7, so 11 minus 4 will be 7. Likewise it is true. Now we have to do operations for the unoccupied cells. Here the unoccupied cells are, these are the unoccupied cells 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I'll just put their numbers. It is C11, the value is 13, C13 the value is 19, C14 the value is 0, C21 the value is 17, C32 the value is 22, and C33 the value is 14. I'm just going to check the corresponding u and v value for the non-assigned cells here. 13 0 plus 2, 0 plus 2, that is equal to 11. Again this 19 0 plus 4, so 19 minus 4 will be 15. Next is 0, so 0 plus minus 0 plus minus 4. Here this minus and this minus get plus, so answer will be plus 4. For 21 17, this is 11 plus 2, that is equal to 13, so answer will be 4 again. And this is for 22 9 plus 7, answer will be 6. And for 14 it is 9 plus 4, so that is equal to 13, so answer will be 1. Now let's check the condition of optimality, that is all the values of Pij are greater than or equal to 0. This is true, hence we have reached to the condition of optimality. Hence this is my particular solution. So now, as we do in transportation's problem for the final step, that we calculate the cost of transportation with an multiplication and addition of the particular cells. That means 180 into 11 plus 200 into 7 plus 120 into 80. But here for maximization problem we need to be very careful that we need to take these assigned values, but the cost of transportation will be taken from the initial matrices. See what we done, we have reduced that matrices to this new matrix. So we are not supposed to carry these new values, we only need to carry the original values which is given in the problem. So here I'll just write down the original values, that is, this is my original matrix, please. So here 180 into, instead of 11 it comes 14 plus 200, instead of 7 here it is 18 plus 120, instead of 18 it will be 7 plus 100, instead of 15 it will be 10, plus 280 instead of 7 it will be 18, and 120 instead of this 5 I am using 20. So if you solve this, you are going to get an answer is 15400. So this is my maximum profit that is possible if I am going to solve this particular problem with Modi method. Either way, if you solve this particular problem which we have not done here, if you find the initial feasible solutions, that is 15080. This was my initial feasible solution and this is my final solution. So now you will see 1580 rupees, let's say, and this is 15400 rupees, say. So it is a profit of problem of maximization. So definitely you are going to get a value higher after applying the Modi methods. In previous, when it was the case of minimization, we got a lower value after applying Modi method, but here we got a higher value after applying the Modi method. So this is how we are going to solve the profit maximization problems for transportations whenever it is asked. So thank you so much and see you in the next lectures. Till then, please subscribe my channel and do look for the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.